Humans are naturally social creatures, which means we can't exist without society. There are both pros and cons to this. Welcome to PRORealLife. In this video, we'll explore how our environment influences us. Let's start with a brief story. Crab fishing is one of the world's most profitable yet dangerous jobs. But have you ever wondered what the reality of this job is? This job involves heading into the stormy waters of Alaska, often during the harsh winter when winds can reach speeds of up to 100 kilometers per hour. It's demanding and grueling work. In addition to enduring these tough conditions, people have to manage massive crab traps weighing up to 300 kilos, and they do this for an exhausting 20 hours a day. But the focus of our story isn't on these challenging conditions, it's about what happens to the crabs that these brave hunters risk their lives to catch. Once the ship returns to shore, some crabs are put into containers, while others are loaded onto boats, placed in refrigerators, or transported in trucks. However, some of the crabs end up in buckets, where they may remain for days awaiting their fate, and those buckets are left uncovered. Now you might think that a crab with its pincers could easily get out, but when one crab starts to climb up, its companions grab it with their pincers and pull it back down. So what's the result of this? They all find themselves unable to escape the bucket, no matter how hard they try, and not long after, they become someone's exotic meal. Same problem applies to people too. You may genuinely want to change your destiny, to break free from your routine. You may be eager to reach the top, and when you're right on the edge of the metaphorical bucket, those faithful companions of yours start interfering. They grab you with their pincers and pull you back down to the bottom. They may suggest you light up a cigarette when they notice you're feeling anxious about quitting, or they could invite you to join them for a drink when they know you're trying to give up alcohol and get into sports. However, it doesn't mean that your social circle consists of bad people. They don't do these things on purpose. It's their natural and unconscious response when they sense a threat to their familiar and established routine. After all, most people aren't big fans of change. The saddest thing is when that crab-like person is someone close to you, because in that case, even the simplest things, like going to bed early, can face strong resistance. Do you get the idea? Returning to the question of how society influences you and your life, crab-like behavior isn't the only issue. And it's only really relevant when you're looking to make changes. But actually recognizing that you want changes can be quite a challenge. That's because each person is influenced by the 5 people they spend the most time with. Have you ever heard the saying, "Tell me who your friends are and I'll tell you who you are"? It's not just empty words, it's a tried and true indicator of a person. If the 5 people you spend the most time with are engineers, then it's likely that you're an engineer as well. If your closest friends are dancers, you're probably a dancer in 99% of cases. And if your 5 best buddies are gamers, well, you're most likely a gamer too. There's another interesting aspect of how your social circle influences you. Have you ever noticed that you unconsciously start imitating the expressions or phases of the people you frequently interact with? Maybe you laugh or roll your eyes in the same way as your best friend, or perhaps you use the same filler words as they do. Since humans are social creatures, completely isolating yourself from society isn't the best idea. However, you can shape your social circle, including people you admire and excluding those you'd prefer to distance yourself from. It's that simple. Your social circle can either be a friend or a foe on your journey towards personal growth. If your environment motivates, inspires, and supports you, they are your friends. If they judge, criticize, and burden you with problems, they're your foes. The perfect environment consists of honest people, those who are genuine and don't pretend to be someone else. They don't talk in riddles. They're not harsh or easily offended. Instead, they're sincere and straightforward. These are the kind of people who avoid getting involved in gossip, they don't complain, and actively collaborate with you to find solutions to problems. They keep their promises and live in the real world, not in a fantasy. And of course, they show respect for you. The list of ideal qualities could go on endlessly. You probably already have an idea of what they should be like. So let's now take a closer look at what a demotivating environment looks like. These are the people who constantly judge you, downplaying your problems and making theirs appear more significant. They burden you with their worries, not caring about your concerns. They insult you, bring negativity into your life, and take advantage of you. They go by various names, from energy vampires to toxic people. But they all mean the same thing: unwelcome characters in your social circle. To ensure that your personal growth isn't hindered by significant obstacles, evaluate your surroundings. Identify the people who inspire you to become a better person and those who have the opposite effect. Spend more time with the positive influences and, if possible, distance yourself from the negative ones. It's even better if you can break off your relationship with them completely to lead a happier and more fulfilling life. If you find that you don't have any positive people in your social circle, there's some steps you can take to expand it. Attend offline events. Actively participate in online chats related to your goals and interests. Consider enrolling in a university or college. Take foreign language courses. So these are just a few examples to get you started. This list could be much longer. In short, to broaden your social circle, seek out new environments where you can connect with inspiring people and start fresh. Once you meet people who genuinely capture your interest and could become role models for you, remember to nurture those relationships. We all know that true friends reveal themselves in times of trouble. Being there to support, help, and show generosity to your friends is important. However, not everyone you want to befriend is going through a difficult period. A surefire way to build relationships with those who appear to have everything going well is through conversation, especially by actively listening to what they have to say. When you're in a conversation, make sure to give the person your full attention. Don't let your mind wander elsewhere, and don't constantly check your phone during the chat. Also, resist the urge to interrupt and offer your thoughts on what the person is sharing. If you're not great at listening, try to imagine that what they're telling you is advice worth $100 billion, or think of it as information that could save millions of lives. With this approach, you'll find it easier to stay focused, and your attentive listening during the conversation will win over your conversation partner's heart. Remember, the way you listen plays a crucial role in building trust with others. In fact, these are the same techniques therapists use to build trust with their clients. Now you know who to avoid in your personal circle, but who to welcome is less clear. One thing is certain: they should be genuinely kind-hearted people. But that's not the only factor to consider. We offer you a simple checklist for potential valuable additions to your social circle. Number 1. These are people who don't let their surroundings or personal weaknesses hold them back. They're independent, can't say no, and stick to their priorities. Number 2. They don't blindly follow the crowd. Their perspective on ordinary things differs from the majority. They respect others and of course also have self-respect. Number 3. They aren't afraid to ask questions. They enjoy engaging in constructive debates to get to the truth. They maintain a consistent curiosity and are open to discussing any topic without taboos. At the same time, they don't impose their views as the only correct ones. Number 4. They avoid superficial and meaningless conversations about other people's weekend plans or tomorrow's weather. They have no interest in who's dating who, what others are wearing, and what media stars said recently. They couldn't care less about trivial matters. Number 5. These are the kind of people who prefer quiet moments over bustling social gatherings. It's not just about introverts. Even extroverts may choose to stay home and focus on something personally fulfilling instead of attending another Friday night party. They understand the difference between momentary and genuine enjoyment. Quality of leisure has more value for them than its quantity. Number 6. Aggressive and unpleasant people can truly irritate them. They don't avoid such individuals or put on a fake smile. Instead, they express their true feelings to those who aren't the most pleasant company, avoiding hypocrisy. Number 7. They can easily explain even complex things, including their own thought processes, decisions, and goals. For 99% of reasonable questions, they offer a logical and coherent response. Number 8. They refrain from making superficial judgments and quick conclusions. Instead of hastily labeling someone as a bad person, they take the time to gather information and then decide whether to believe rumors or not. If you meet someone who matches the description of at least 2 to 3 of these points, that's the kind of person you should aim to include in your social circle. Being around them will have a positive impact on your personal growth. And of course, the more people like them you have in your circle, the better. A person is shaped by their surroundings. Everything in your mind, from life goals to hobbies, is directly influenced by the people you surround yourself with and the information you consume. That's why your environment can either be a friend or a foe. Take a moment to evaluate the people you spend the most time with. Do they support your aspirations? If they do, that's great. But if not, it's time to take steps to expand your social circle and reduce contact with those who have a negative impact on you. Humans and sharks share an interesting similarity. When a shark lives in the ocean, it can grow up to 5 meters in length. However, if a young shark is taken out from the ocean and placed in a home aquarium, it won't grow as much. Well, technically, it will grow, but only by about 8 inches. Which is roughly 20 centimeters. That's the limit. It won't exceed that. The crucial point to understand is that in a restricted living environment, a shark won't grow and expand in size. The same principle applies to humans. If you're surrounded by narrow-minded people who hold you back and burden you, your growth will be limited to just 8 inches. But if you live in the ocean, your potential for development is limitless. Choose your environment with care and mindfulness. Don't limit your potential, and don't become like a shark confined in an aquarium when you are capable of so much more. And always remember, your friends reflect who you are. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to subscribe to our channel. Our goal is to change your life for the better. Thank you in advance, and see you soon.